I'm nowhere near the leagues of the greats, Djokovic, Sabalenka, Alcaraz. Alexandra Eala plays down huge social media numbers and Pacquiao comparisons. Eala was beaten 6-0, 3-6, 2-6 by Alicia Parks in Melbourne, a match that swung dramatically after a one-sided opening set and was played in front of a crowd that far exceeded the capacity of the outside court on which it was scheduled. "Yeah, it was a tough one," Eala said afterwards. "I think it's only normal that with a loss comes disappointment and being upset. But then again, it's another opportunity for me to take, learn, and grow as a player." While the result went in Park's favor, Eala admitted the loss was made more emotional by the level of support she received, with thousands of fans packing into the stands and surrounding walkways. "It was so heartwarming," she said. "I think that's one of the things that makes a loss like today a little bit harder, because I know a lot of people were rooting for me. But then again, Alicia played really well." Eala said she felt that support throughout the match, even as the momentum shifted away from her late in the decider. "I really appreciate just the fact that everyone came out and really squeezed into that cozy court," she said. "I felt so loved even when I was 5-2 down in the third. I still felt the love. So I'm really appreciative and super thankful." The scale of attention surrounding Eala has grown rapidly over the past year, something she admitted can be overwhelming at times, particularly away from match play. "It's a process to take it all in," she said. "This week there were definitely elements that were a bit overwhelming, especially during my practices. I didn't expect that many people to be there." Still just 20 years old, Eala said learning how to manage that attention is now part of her development. "Losses are part of the learning process. Training is part of the learning process," she said. "I'm still young, so I'm learning how to deal with all of this attention, but at the same time being grateful." Despite the increased spotlight, Eala explained that her off-season remained largely unchanged, with a heavy focus on training. "In the off-season, not much changed," she said. "Off-season in the end is training. The training was hard. The training was intense." One of the highlights, however, came away from the professional tour, when she represented her country at the SEA Games. "That was getting to compete in the SEA Games," she said. "I had so much fun with my teammates, and it was really a safe space for me to be more extroverted and really enjoy myself." To help manage the noise and energy that now follows her onto court, Eala often wears headphones during her walk-on, a small routine that helps her stay focused. "I listen to a lot of music," she said. "It can get quite loud when you're walking into a court like that. Sometimes people don't understand that you're in the zone, so I feel like headphones kind of give that message." Asked about the mismatch between the demand to see her play and the size of the court she was allocated, Eala made it clear she remains focused on what she can control. "I have no say in the courts that I'm put on," she said. "Whatever court they put me on, I go and compete, and that's what I did today." Plays down Pacquiao comparisons. On court, Eala said she deliberately blocks out the broader significance of the moment, including what her presence means for Philippine tennis, in order to stay locked into her match plan. "I'm big on compartmentalizing," she said. "Right before or during the match is not the time to look at the big picture. Even though it's a Grand Slam and my first main draw in Australia, it's still just another match, and I have to treat it as such." Only after the match does she allow herself to reflect. "There are moments when you walk off and realize there are so many people giving you so much love," she said. "That helps cushion the loss." Eala confirmed Melbourne is one of the cities where she has felt the strongest Filipino support, alongside New York. "This was definitely one of the bigger Filipino turnouts," she said. "I would say the top two so far have been Melbourne and New York." While online numbers and crowd sizes continue to rise, Eala said she remains grounded and reluctant to compare herself to the sport's biggest names. "I'm nowhere near the leagues of the greats, Djokovic, Sabalenka, Alcaraz," she said. "But I like to think that I have a following for a reason, and that the platform I've built has a positive effect on my demographic." "I'm nowhere near the leagues of the greats," a reflection on Alexandra Eala's place in sport and society. It was a cool evening in Melbourne when Alexandra Eala walked off the blue hardcourt at the Australian Open. The scoreboard didn't reflect a fairytale win, a loss to Alicia Parks in 3 sets, but what happened in and around that match was something far greater than a technical result. In the stands, fans spilled into every available space. Philippine flags waved with fierce pride, and voices rang out in chants that turned a humble outside court into a sanctuary of hope. What has struck the sporting world isn't just what she's doing, but how she perceives it, a quiet humility unusual in today's age of bravado. In the aftermath, Eala said something strikingly grounded. "I'm nowhere near the leagues of the greats, Djokovic, Sabalenka, Alcaraz." That simple sentence isn't resignation. It's perspective, one born from experience, aspiration, and an innate sense of who she is and where she still wants to go. 1. The weight of greatness. Djokovic, Sabalenka, and Alcaraz are household names, players who have reshaped narratives in tennis and continuously redefined what physical and mental excellence look like at the highest level. They are modern icons. They stand in stadiums that seat 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people, match after match, year after year. Eala's comparison is not a dismissal of her own talent so much as a recognition of the distance that separates potential from legacy. She acknowledges the mountain ahead of her, a mountain forged by time, consistency, innovation, and resilience that only a few reach. That kind of self-awareness is rare. Many young athletes are already naming themselves champions before they finish their first season. Eala sees the game with different eyes, not as a place to claim victory before the battle, but as an arena to learn, grow, and refine. There is beauty in her humility. It reveals a young athlete who knows that greatness isn't defined by moments of popularity or bursts of attention, but by enduring excellence and consistency. 2. The Eala effect, social media fame in a digital age. Yet where Eala may not see herself as in the League of Greats, the world watches differently. Her press conference views on YouTube have eclipsed those of Sabalenka and Alcaraz, sometimes by multiples, as her pre-tournament speeches went viral, racking up extraordinary engagement. These digital numbers reveal something essential about sport in the 21st century. Influence and attention no longer align perfectly with rankings or titles. A player can stir imaginations, build communities, and create emotional investment,